So, yes, as I said, I'm sufficiently upset enough that a walk is warranted. And I won't go out the garage door so I can try to be quiet because she's still sleeping, thank God. I really got tired of the argument that I didn't work hard enough to deserve my own home so that I could live without being, constantly turmoiled by people. I like my house cleaner. Well, I'm sorry that my goddamn body won't allow it. It hurts like hell going out walking, but at least that's healthy. That neighbor of, I don't know how long, sold out. I just love that new front door they put on. She has a fireplace in hers. Her kitchen is shit, though, compared to the remodel we did on this one. My hair looks a mess. But I'm sure my skull and the shape of it doesn't help. Normally I have to... Oh well. Watch one of the cops roll by stating, well, we got another complaint that you were posting something weird online. What is your all's goddamn fucking problem? You said you were short-staffed and don't have the fucking finances to do it, so stop goddamn doing the fucking crazy checks. If I were suicidal, I would check myself into the hospital. I'm not an imbecile. And if I felt like going out and harming someone, you best bet I'd check myself into a hospital. That's fucking crazy. Well, what's going on here? Oh well, I'll walk past them anyway. Oh, they're landscaping. Hola. I don't know, is it rude to say hello to people in their native language? I always wondered that, but I wasn't sure. Like if I come across, anyone of the Spanish, whatever, in the community, I normally greet them with, hola, ¿cómo está? And I explain to them they only speak a little bit of Spanish. I sure as hell don't know how to tell them, I don't know whether it's rude or not to greet you this way. But, in my mind, it's being friendlier. Considering all the other goddamn Americans who sit and bitch about foreign languages being used in this country. Bonjour. Buongiorno. Hola. My Italian's a little bit, it needs work. Buongiorno. Buongiorno. You have to have a lot of soul for Italian. Technically, people who speak Spanish talk way too fast for me. And that's probably why I speak so quickly in English. My sister speaks in slow motion like a bad acid trip. Or something. I've never tried acid, I really haven't. But just like with Debbie when I was a kid. Don't lie to me. You people are sick. No offense. You are my family and I still love you and I always will. But what they did to me is sickening. I don't subject myself to their fucking company anymore for a reason. It upsets me all the while. Debbie Wood told Nanette that she was afraid of me. I'm like, what in the hell did I do this time? I was passing out in Seroquel because the bitch was afraid to stay by herself. Well, they're having a yard sale again. Ugh. The worst thing I ever told my Aunt Debbie Wood I would do to her, honest to God, was stand outside the door looking in the peephole so she couldn't see who it was. Now, yeah, that sounds real fucking dangerous, doesn't it? That's a nice Jeep. New Compass. These people were having a yard sale last weekend, too. Hi. Ugh, they must be polling or something. And with all these fake people, there was some news story talking about people pretending to work for the electric company attacking citizens. What in the goddamn hell is wrong with the world? I walk over to Sharonville and see if the Fond Vista people are out. I knew that house would not stay on the market long. It's hilarious. They listed it as soon as I put it on TikTok. I hope they didn't, think, oh my God, he's scoping our house out. No, I just think your home is beautiful. The older woman who lived there was pretty nice too. I apologized to her one day when I was over there. I'm like, sorry if I freak you out sometimes if I'm coming through here, either blogging or if I'm just chanting. I do have Tourette's syndrome. It's really fucking annoying. To me. I know it has to bother other people. And I don't do it on purpose. Why in the hell would I? That woman looks like Michelle Crawford in a way. Man, there are all kinds of people out today for a Saturday morning. You ought to see this place on Sunday morning. I guess everybody prefers the noon mass. I'm not sure. This place on a Sunday morning is so dead. You would think everybody died in the middle of the night. There was one Sunday I came out, and I'm like, there wasn't even hardly any traffic on the main road. I'm like, what happened last night? Did the world end? Oh, and there's the guy with the walker and his dogs. I'll just go up this cul-de-sac and hopefully he'll be past the intersection I need to go through by then. It hurts like hell being out walking. It really does. I've medicated and it's still painful. But it's a healthy activity. A healthy activity. I try to get Nanette to go walking with me. She'd rather sit there and watch QVC and then bitch at me about finances. It's like, as I told you, as politely and kindly as I can, you adults should have done your fucking jobs when I was a kid and had this set up so that at least my health care would be taken care of without you all falsifying that mental health bullshit so you could say, you don't need that therapy. You don't need this wheelchair. And that's exactly how it was. Bud and Judy and their thieving, drug peddling, swinging pieces of shit. Or should I talk about Queen Ecstasy Truesdale with Metaview ZR and her goddamn family robbing us blind at least once? Or shall I talk about Bernetta Sweet and medical records and the Sweet family drugging my father? The Sweet Lucas family drugging my father. And their ties to Mr. Wins and Mr. Mason. Or shall I talk about Kentucky State Representative William Lawrence and his wife April, who also works at Murder View? Or shall I talk about Congressman Massey, Temptress Thomas, and his mother, Auntie Gail, with Ruggles Campground? Photographic evidence of that too. I call him Temptress Thomas because it's a church camp kid kind of thing. Teasing each other in those little funny brotherhood ways. I think it's hilarious. Plus, he is cute for a hetero. Oh, they're roofing. Oh. Man, they'll have that roof done in no time. The men who did our roof, they had it done in like 6 hours. And they even had to replace part of the plywood. You know what? I really hate to be a bitch about this shit, but Kim Razor should have followed due process protocol as I understand it. I'm not a judge to make that call. However, she could have asked a few fucking questions. If I read the literature correctly, she owed me 30 seconds of in-person consult before signing that form. She didn't do it. Not to mention me blacking out in the ambulance right before we got to Metaview. Real interesting, isn't it? So again, let me tell you about the ties Patrick and Christy Boggs have to child porn productions. I just made a post and hashtagged Canada, Christy Klebeck, and Saskatchewan. I hope they enjoy it too. It is a shame those people up there killing for no reason, in all honesty. Then again, I guess you could call it karma. Look at all those Native American children the Canadian Catholics killed for no goddamn reason. So all that radiation hitting the west coast of Canada and frying the seafood on the beaches, good goddamn riddance. It's only going to make the North Pole melt faster, though. I was called a conspiracy theorist, which technically is treason and grounds for removal from this country in some circumstances for talking about things like conversion and reparative therapy and law enforcement using it to rape children, and then medical facilities such as Comprehend Incorporated and Eastern State Hospital falsifying medical documentation to cover it. So let me tell you about my cousin's excessive force case with Mason County. They never filed charges from what I understand because she didn't know how to do it, and her mother and father are assholes too. She got slammed across the hood of a cruiser and held down to the point it tore the muscles in her neck. Tore them. This is her statement. I didn't see dash cam footage or listen to the cops about it. I believe her. Because men have always, gravitated towards her because she is, has the most people would consider me high functioning, what the fuck ever. She's a little bit different. She's smart as fuck. She just has the attitude issue. Whereas I can let some things slide, she doesn't let anything slide. Because she sees the wrong in it. Like when her boss would scold her for having a little bit of an outburst at Deshays. She has an ADA-approved disability. You firing her opens you up for a huge fucking lawsuit. How fucking much of a bitch are you, Mindy Howell? I sure as hell can talk about your son, Steven, and how hot he is. Mindy Howell. Yeah. Oh well, bitch. But anyway, they did that to Brandy, threw her naked in a suicide cell, then stood outside the door drooling. Then forced her to go to Comprehend because she felt violated by that as a rape survivor. My Aunt Judy's first husband, Danny, pervert from hell. And Bud Lucas is a dumbass too, pointing his disgusting finger at my deaf aunt, then at his foot like she's a goddamn dog. Let me tell you about his drug peddling bitch of a daughter. What proof do I have? Well, I used to go up to Hilltop sometimes. I know the patrons. I know her bestie, Kim Henderson Monteith. I witnessed Kim dig her nails into a kid one time until they bled. Just like when they got that little snippet from me. That's how fucking sick it is. That was another thing I tried to report with Mrs. Wins in the office at Straub Elementary, only to have that bitch slap back in my face too because of her husband and Wendell Mason, among others. And there is a strange Cadillac pulling on our street. That is just what I thought. Let's see, there's medical, law enforcement, and at least 2 retired armed forces on our street. A dead-end street of about 10 homes. This community is fairly... I don't know what the right word is. There's law enforcement, there's medical personnel, there's armed forces, there's Navy. There's some bigwig thing over across that way. They drive a big Suburban with like Department of Justice emblems on it. I haven't met them yet. You know what? I'm not gonna fucking do that walk. I don't feel that goddamn well. I was gonna go over there and catch a picture of that Suburban, but I don't feel like walking that far today. Not yet, anyway. I don't feel that good. And that's what I talk about with being permanently disabled. I should be able to walk to downtown Cincinnati if I feel like it. It's about, I don't know, 18 miles from here. We live out in the burbs. We live literally almost at the cutoff of Cincinnati proper, out into the better burbs like Westchester and Fairfield and whatever in the hell else is around here. I don't think they're still Cincinnati. Maybe they are. I don't know. When I say I'd get lost in a paper bag, I mean like a kitty cat, not like a drunk. Granted, I do drink heavy sometimes, not anymore. But me getting lost in a paper bag, like a kitty cat, get lost and trapped in it for hours. And she makes fun of me for using GPS everywhere I go. It's like, you know what? I know you want to have conversation, but I don't find that funny, because all that really hurts. Not you saying what you're saying. My inability to function normally hurts. I don't need a goddamn constant reminder of it. So that, you know, benign teasing bullying is no longer fucking funny. You know what the Springdale officers here told me? Well, you know, Mr. Horde, you cause too much trouble, basically. If you want somewhere to stay, you need to learn to get along with people. Just like Brown County. So, as I stated, watch me walk in a straight line, medicated, on cannabis, and watch me talk about the Hamilton County Sheriff's Department hazing frat kids, underage, illegal drugs and alcohol. I've had it up to here with their shit. You want to see the taser scars? Oh, you ruined your life, don't ruin ours. You people ruined my life, starting with your physical goddamn abuse. Well, Dad used to hit us with tobacco sticks. Get over it. Says the woman married to a dirty fucking attorney, sucking on the taxpayer teat, and our tax dollars paying for fucking Sam's Club memberships for all the sick pieces of shit. So they could run up here to Sam's, buy stuff cheap in bulk, and then up their prices, reselling it to those less fortunate. Oh well. Let me tell you about Sharon Christie and her goddamn OxyContin peddling kids. And Kyle's big dick. Uncalled for? I'll tell you what's uncalled for. Sharon Christie getting a smart-ass fucking mouth over me signing tax documentation when her husband would be out at the farm almost every goddamn day looking stoned out of his head. Oh, and they're contractors with the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet leaving cash in our fucking mailbox. So the FBI investigating them too? Good. So Kelly Clark represents inmates assaulted by drug peddling pieces of shit at MCDC. Well, let me tell you about Rachel Weiss working for Mr. Clark and the goddamn drugs flowing out of that fucking office. Yes, I talk about all this stuff publicly around law enforcement, armed forces, medical. Have fun fucking explaining it. It would have been different if they hadn't fucked up the medical literature, the medical records. It would have been a lot different if they hadn't fucked that up. Instead, the sick pieces of shit had to make up a bunch of dumbassery to cover their fucking sick, rapey asses. So excuse my language, over being sodomized by adult men and canine units, and then their medical dumbasses telling me that the pain was only growing pains and that I needed to get used to it. With Dr. Schaus, Leroy, shoving needles in my spine, saying this is this and that is that, like a fucking idiot, with his kid fucked up bigger than shit on our farm. He and my sister running around doing their dumbass shit, along with Dr. Schauss's prescription pad. Or how about I speak about the Brindleys and my sister and mother's ties to their fucking dumbass drug peddling shit. Oh well. So let me tell you about my sister being whatever, mental, to the point of punching her own family in the mouth and telling them to eat her pussy. It happened at 9152 Springdale. Who else would it have been? But I'm mentally ill? You go right ahead and believe them. Another judge adding themselves to human trafficking? That's your fucking fault. It's called due process. If you sit and actually pay attention, you might listen, actually hear me, and learn a few things. So no, I'm not surprised they brought Cameron Blau straight down from Tim Nolan's courthouse to Mason County to rule on my sister's farm. Oh well.